Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of my Crafting the Bifrost series. In this episode, we're just going to go over all of the materials that we need, the basic materials, which is the vast majority of stuff that'll eventually go into the crafting. There'll be a few other random items and gifts and things as well. But what I'm basically going to do is gather them all from my bank, as in the collections area, and put them in the regular bank area so that we can keep them separate from everything else I'll be doing over the next couple days. So I have my nice little spreadsheet here, and I made a little, or not a spreadsheet, my nice little flowchart thing that breaks down everything you need to make the Bifrost. So the legend obviously we'll be working on in a later episode. For the gift of the Bifrost, we need a gift of energy, which is basically all of the different dusts. So let's move that up there. Alright, so at least the inventory is kind of cleanish. Okay, so the lowest grade, I believe, is the radiant dust. Yes, we need 250 of these. And 250 luminous dusts. And then incandescent dusts. And crystalline dust I already have in here, so there we go. So let's go ahead and put these 4 in there. And let me put that up there for now, because we'll get to that in a bit. Alright, so those are the 4 piles of dust we will need to make the Gift of Energy. And all of the crafting I'll actually do in the last episode at once. I'm just going to store up the mats for now. We also need the Gift of Color, and that requires the Gift of Zyton, which you need to farm either the Dungeon Ara in Explorable mode, or the Ara PvP path. I'm not really sure which of those I'll be doing, maybe a little bit of both, but that's the other thing I'm going to hold off on for the time being. I need 100 unidentified dyes, which I transferred over from one of my other storage tunes. So there we go. 215 more crystalline dust, so we have more of that in here. Need lots of crystalline dust for Bifrost. Okay, and then 100 opal orbs, which I also happen to have. I checked earlier. Where are the orbs? There with the jewels. Here we go. Opal. We have plenty of opal, thankfully. A while ago, I bought the slot increase from 250 to 500, which isn't really that amazing, but I think maybe the first tier of upgrades. When I did it and realized, like in my head, I thought it would be really awesome, and then I did it and kind of regretted it at first. But over the long run, since I've been using those slots for years now, I think it was probably a good investment. I wouldn't go beyond 500 because at that point it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's the Gift of Color. Then next we need 100 icy runestones, and that will cost us 100 gold. And for those, we have to go to, let me bring up my little wiki page here just to make sure I'm getting it right. Yep, Frostgorge Sound. I think I know where I'm going. I don't remember visiting this guy, but I think he's right there. So, go up here. It's kind of close to where Jormag is, if you fought him before. Which, if you're making a legendary, I'm guessing you probably have. Alright, so I think he is. I think that's him right there. Let's make our way over there. And I'll put my little speed thing on. We can probably just follow the road here. I want to use this to get some swiftness, but I don't want to hit any enemies by accident and get pulled into combat, because that would just slow me down. Oh, why are they attacking that white Moa? Who knows? But he basically sells the runestone for 1 gold per runestone, and as far as I know, these are only used for legendaries. Basically just a gold sink, I guess. Here we go. Rojan the Penitent, who I guess is a son of Svanir who has seen the error of his ways. Thank goodness, because otherwise we would have no one to buy icy runestones from. Okay, I thought he was going to make me actually kill the Claw of Jormag, which I've probably killed dozens of times. But yeah, you can buy them in groups of 1 or groups of 10. And you can also sell junk to him. Alright, so we need 10 of those, or 100 of those, so we're going to buy 10 groups of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's how you count to 10. Should have been a math teacher. He sells some recipes for different items there. Alright, so those are the icy runestones. Let's go back to our bank now and put those away. I usually go back to Radissoon, but let's go to the Lion's Arch since it's near the forge and all. While I'm loading, I'm going to see if they're used for anything else. No, it pretty much looks like these are just used. Well, they're used for some other rare items as well, like the god items, the Shadow of Grenth and the Light of Dwayne and all that, and also for the scribe upgrades for strongholds. It looks like so there are a few non-legendary things, but they're all very expensive. All right, so there's our 100 runestones. Next up on my list, I have one superior sigil of nullification. These are like 2 to 3 silver on the trading post. They're really cheap, but we will need one of those. Okay, and that's it for the gift of the Bifrost. Well, once we have the gift of Zyton at least. The third of the main items is the gift of fortune, which again is broken down into many different areas. We have mystic clovers, which you've already made 77 of in the last episode. What did I do with those? They are stored, I believe. There they are. So we'll put those in here now. Okay. And of course those take mystic coins, obsidian shards, globs of ectos, and spirit shards. About 250 of each, except the spirit shards, which it takes about 150 of. But again, if you're unlucky like me, then it can take a bit more than that. Then we need 250 globs of ectoplasm, also known as ectos. We have almost 400 of those. That's not an issue. You can probably sell the rest of those, get some money back. Gift of magic. Alright, so now we're getting into, this is why it's called the gift of fortune, because it costs a fortune. Alright, you basically need 250 of each of the tier 6 materials, these 8 guys here. So for the first one we need powerful blood, powerful venom sac, elaborate totems, and crystalline dust. Or last 250 crystalline dust. And that'll make the gift of magic. For the gift of might, you need the other 5. A vicious fang, armored scales, vicious claws. Oh, we got those switched, didn't we? Not that it really matters in the slightest. And ancient bones. Alright, there we go. So that cleared out most of my stash of tier 6s, but that's okay. Because this is what I've been saving them for. And those together all make the gift of fortune. So let's go ahead and put them in here. And if you're wondering how to get all these, the best way is honestly just to get the gold and then buy them off the trading post. You could farm them if you want from doing like tier 6 farming in ore or maybe in dry top, or probably other areas as well. Maybe champion bags. You could actually also spend your laurels on tier 6 crafting bags. You have a lot of extra laurels, that would be a good way. But on the whole, farming, if you're going to go ahead and farm tier 6 materials like out in the wild, you might as well just farm an item which you can farm more efficiently and then sell those for the gold and use the gold to buy these tier 6 mats. So I don't know what the fastest time to gold ratio is besides trading post clipping. It used to be dungeoning way back in the day. I don't know if that's still true or if it might be dry top or some of the new maps or maybe the Aether Blade path if you have a good group and can do it fairly efficiently, because I know there's some rare skins there that sell for quite a bit. But anyway, whatever way you decide to get your gold, get the gold and then buy all the mats you need. So, and then last we have the gift of, I can't read my own handwriting. I want to say this is mastery. I'm pretty sure it's mastery, yes. Gift of mastery. Alright. I first read it as gift of Mustang, but that is not it. Alright, so for that we need a bloodstone shard, and that is nice and easy. It actually is not made with bloodstone dust, because obviously bloodstone dust is an ascended material, and ascended materials were added to the game after legendaries were. Legendaries, I'm pretty sure, came at launch, even though I wasn't playing then. So there it is, bloodstone shard. Costs 200 spirit shards. Used to be known as skill points, which obviously is a fairly significant amount of gameplay. So, but if you are ready to make your legendary, you probably have more than enough at this point, unless you've spent them all on other things. There is our single bloodstone shard we need. Let's go ahead and take that upstairs, or up ramp. I'll put there's the Flame Seeker prophecies. Whoops, that's the shield legendary. Oh, and there's, speaking of the Bifrost, there we go. Wrong button. Okay. So there he is. And for the gift of mastery, we also need 250 obsidian shards. So basically, the first one, make sure you have a lot of spirit shards. I'm doing from leveling, and I guess you can still get them from the skill points or hero points, whatever they're called these days. Obsidian shards basically make sure you have enough karma, which you should have unless you spent on other things. You can also buy these with laurels or with fractals if you'd rather do them from those methods. Then we need the Gift of Exploration, which I have up here, and this is for world completion, which is actually one of the most difficult parts of doing a legendary. You have to explore every zone to 100% completion, do every vista, and what do they call these? Hero challenge, every point of interest, every waypoint, and every task. I had 100% world completion, and then a couple months ago, or about a year ago, I guess, they changed things to make the leveling experience easier, and they added 3 new hearts. So if I did those, I wouldn't actually get everything. I might do them at some point just for completion's sake to get that full 100% again, but I won't get a second to get to explorations for that. You do get 2 of them when you do it, because a lot of classes, you might want to have a main hand and an offhand legendary weapon, if they're different items. Alright, and then the last item we need for the Gift of Mastery is the Gift of Battle, and that costs 500 badges of honor, which I have, yep, plenty more than enough of. And for that, we're going to have to go to World v World. I'm actually not entirely sure where in World v World, so while we travel, I'm going to look that up on the wiki real quick. I know I looked it up a long time ago, but I wasn't really paying attention to where the vendor was. It might be in the Citadels. Let's see. Apparently, it's sold by the Battle Master, who is in all of the areas. And he can be found in all of the hills here in the Eternal Battlegrounds. So he's around here somewhere. But he's just called Battle Master. So there's the Battle Historian, where you sell your tokens at. You also have to be at least world rank 14 or higher. I'm sure I'm higher than that. Yeah, 77. Whoops. I didn't do a ton of World v World, but I've done... There was a while where I got a little into it. Alright, that is just a repair guy, outfitter, siege master, traps and tricks. These are the defenders. He might actually be up here. Alright, let's go over here and see if he's over here. If not, I might just head to one of the citadels. Siege master, supplies. Or defenders. Oh, you can actually harvest things here? Oh, that's cool. I guess these are like the guild upgrades, but you get these from I guess doing well in World v World and upgrading it that way instead. Alright, so I see a bank over there. How to use it? There we go, Alt. Okay. That helps a little bit. But I actually don't see the guy we're looking for. Oh, Battle Master, where are you? Alright, let's try going to, where's our keep? What are we? We're green. We're not doing so great by the looks of it. Or did they change these up? They changed these up. Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, in that case, I am totally disoriented. So, alright. There are no more citadels then, I guess. Huh. Well, in that case, where am I actually going here? I don't actually see any waypoints. Maybe I have to portal there? Alright, well, let's head back down here. Better know who that guy is. It says merchant. Alright, maybe this will make it a little easier. Heroics Notary. Oh, Battlemaster, right in front of me. Alright. There we go. Only those who have proven their worth in the Mist War may receive the Gift of Battle. Alright, the only thing they sell. A gift used to create legendary weapons. And there it is. Alright. Very cool. So now we have the Gift of Battle. Is there a bank around here? Just a trading post. Just a trading post by the looks of it. So let's head back to Lion's Arch. And we'll put that in the bank, and that'll be pretty much it for the basic materials. Like I said, the vast majority of the stuff you get with gold, besides the ones I've specifically mentioned where to get. Alright, so we'll travel back over here. And once we put this in there, the only things I'll be lacking are the legend, which is the precursor, and the shards of Zaitan. So I'll probably be running at least one raw explorable mode with my guild sometime this week. Because if you do it at least once, you unlock the reward track permanently for PvP. So even though I've never done SPvP before, I guess it would make sense to do every aspect of the game at least a little bit for the legendary. So I might do that. We'll see. There it is. So yep, that is almost everything. So I'm going to end this episode here then, and when we come back, I will either be working on the shards of Zaitan for the gift of Zaitan, or I'll be working my way up the mastery tracks to claim the legend. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys then.